Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Audio testing 1, 2, 3. Better turn off my fucking music on Spotify. Hello, hello, testing audio 1, 2, 3. Alright. Audio is good. Alright. What the fuck? Turn off the fucking audio. What the hell? God damn it. Alright. So, the new season of PoE is almost upon us. And come on, the controller already fucking borked again. Okay, you know what? I gotta order a Bluetooth adapter from Amazon. This is driving me insane. Okay. Yup. It's gonna be hard to play like UI stuff with a controller, but I'll try my best. What I want to say here? Nothing really. Well, no, I do. I have something to say. I think I'll go either Pathfinder or Stormweaver. I'm leaning towards Stormweaver because I want to play spells. I think there's some triple dipping tech, maybe. I don't want to generate stupid hype for no reason. But for those of you that haven't read it, Pathfinder, in a new patch, has a new skill called whatever, acidic concoction, or whatever the fuck that is. Oh, cool, new bosses. All right, acidic concoction, which is it's going to do damage based on the remaining poison at 150% value. Like, okay. But you can't scale it. Unscalable. People go, that sucks. Well, the reason why it's unscalable is because it's so strong if it is, right? Because they want to avoid double dip. And the strict definition of double dip is you increase one stat. And then you get squared the value of it. So usually those kind of mechanics are quite broken in ARPGs. When you get to high-end scaling, you'll beat out other forms of scaling because of this, right? And there aren't many ways of doing it, but like historically, I feel like a lot of these ARPGs, even Diablo, has been, you can't avoid this sometimes. Like they just sneak into the patch somehow, and there's ways of getting double dip. You have to have an increased damage stat, a good stat you have, how it works, right? And then by increasing it by 50%, you don't just get 50% more value, you get squared. So in this case, 1.5 times 1.5, you get 2.25 instead of 1.5. And the only way you do this in PoE right now is, I think, one of the best ways is poison and shock, right? So poison is based off the size of your hit. Shock will increase both the poison and the initial hit. So you get double the value from poison, right? Now that you have another skill that does damage based on the poison, it's triple dip. Shock. Strictly speaking, shock has triple dip value. Scaling shock magnitude has triple dip value with if you use Pathfinder. Or you can just don't do a triple dip, just use poison and whatever, and just go Stormweaver, get high shock. Either way will get you good damage, I think. I don't want to sell FOMO and whatever or hype. I'm not a view farmer, so I won't do any of that kind of dumb shit for you. I mean, like, you know, I don't like it anyway. But like, one reason why Plague Bearer is so strong in the last patch maybe still is, I don't know. Did they change anything? I don't know. It's because you get double dips, right? I think on the gain is extra. So when you trample to a procs, it benefits from gain is extra, and like your initial hit for Plague Bearer or Shield Charge is going to get the gain is extra, and then the damage that echoes after also benefits from the gain is extra. So that the longer it chains, the more damage it does, right? And you will see that odd behavior, especially when you have, like, for example, a boss in a room with a very, like, 3 or 4 mobs, and you hit Plague Bearer once, and the boss just gets hit for like 10 million damage because... It may not happen next patch because Deepest Tower is gone. Deepest Tower is huge. As the build was scaling generic increased damage. You know what I mean? Like, it was... So neither Trample Toe nor Plague Bearer... You see how that damage, it echoed... Be way... See how it goes around like that? The Plague Bearer range is not even that far, right? It's because Trample Toe. Every mob that dies from overkill from Trample Toe echoes the damage around it. And, that's why it's like, it's doing that kind of crazy shit. And that's why Shock, scaling Shock Magnitude has amazing value. The problem now is that in the passive tree, you will no longer be able to benefit from the Deepest Tower nodes, which are this one, Finality, low life, right? Galen made the math, it was like 300-400% increased damage. That is a lot of damage lost. Now, to be fair, I don't know what the current Shock Magnitude is. They never show you it directly. But one way you can compensate for the lack of damage there is to jack up your Shock Magnitude by like a lot. Like, you can't see it because everything just blows up too quickly. Like that. Ow! He one-shot me. Or almost did anyway. It's fun, huh? This build's pretty chill. Since that you can just... It's not like that you have all these layers of defense too. Like, you have a shield, you'll have deflect, you'll have that's why also it scales block, like damage scaling with block, like lay siege and these nodes on a tree that give you that. Anyway, when a new tree comes out, the strength or weakness of the build will depend on how many sources of increased damage that are neither tied to spell or attacks that are on the tree. Does that make any sense? If you can't source any kind of increased damage, generic, you can't do this anymore. What you see on the screen won't happen. But if you can, or let's say if uniques come along that allow the same kind of ridiculous like increased damage scaling that we have with Deepest Tower, then it's all Gucci at that point. Diffusion. But that's a huge question mark, right? If you cannot make up for the increased damage loss from Deepest Tower, I don't think the build is anywhere close to what you're seeing right now. Because it is the gigantic amount of increased damage on the first initial hit. That hit right there, that just annihilated it. That's Deepest Tower doing a lot of work. It's doing 3x damage, right? So the initial idea that Galen had was you use Chayula Monk and you use the volatile power support. You just jack up your first hit by a lot. You can get 200 damage as extra chaos, 200% of damage as extra chaos. But it's gone, right? Galen did his homework. My God, my language is like just like killing me here. Fuck. I was gonna say, yeah, volatile support got removed. It was in the newest patch notes. So Chayula Monk cannot at will get 200 volatility just because he wants to. It has to be built up naturally or somehow. Galen is suspecting there might be a way to... They're going to add other ways. It may be possible. However, the gain is extra. While it is nice, it doesn't really help you in a boss fight. Whereas Shock does. Shock has the biggest... Shock Magnitude has the biggest effect on this build, I feel. It's harder to scale, that's all, right? So, this is another thing. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something. I think one of the settings I didn't... Oh, right, the sound. I'll turn the sound. Yeah. Go for the boss here. Again, you know, so many unknowns going to the patch. On top of this, like, Pathfinder, by the way, Temporal Chains map, right? Goddamn nightmare for every build, but PF is lovely. It's just not affected by temp chains, right? There. Right. Is this gonna be gone? They didn't remove Running Assault? Why would they give Jumping Legionnaire the same skill? That's kind of lazy design, man. This is generically strong, you know? Like, you can't go wrong with Pathfinder, I feel. You just can't, I think. Stormweaver, I mean, Stormweaver's good too. Nothing wrong with Stormweaver. Double Shock, but, you know? I'll go Pathfinder. I don't know. What's so good about Stormweaver? Double Shock is, Whereas, Acidic Concoction is very unique. Like, you just can't get it anywhere else. You're looking for like a unique thing. And then Unaffected by Temp Chains is a godsend in endgame mapping. And you get to play with Deadeye in between. Because, like, you could just play Deadeye first. Abuse their whatever you want from Deadeye. And on your second or third ascendancy, or if you want to get a carry once, you know, it's not expensive if you rush to the end. You just allocate all your points and get your carry, and then you can swap to Pathfinder for the end game. If it turns out that Plague Bear's any good. Or play Stormweaver. But I don't think I want to play Stormweaver anymore. I think I want to play Pathfinder. I'll see. Look at that. The shield charge, spreading the damage over here, then here, then here, if you notice that. That's because of Trample Toe, and gain is extra, right? That's why you see the ice cubes. The more times it chains, the more of the exponential function you get, right? That's pretty strong, if you ask me. The thing you need a lot is you want to smack that first enemy as hard as possible to get the maximum overkill on it. And I'm not sure. I think Shock, you don't get, do you get the damage bonus on the same hit? I doubt it. You apply Shock and then subsequent hits do higher, right? So for me, conclusively, if gamers want to go PF, I'm gonna go PF because it's unique. The one time the build suffers is when you have. It's glorious, isn't it?
Barely broke a sweat.
Boom! The whole screen goes clear. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
What luck?
Even Fubka doesn't care about this build because it's so off the radar. Well, he'll just come in and say, I can blow the map up in like 10,000 times faster than you can. The point, he's missing the point though. The point is that this is done on pretty modest gear, I would say. Anybody can make amazing builds with any gear they want to play with, right? It is making a good build on limited gear that is the difficult part. And Fubka does not dwell in the slums of poverty builds. He does not. He values speed because speed is very impressive. And it's very nice too. I'm accelerated. It feels really nice. What's the wax? Is this good? Is this even good? I don't think it's good, right? Well, I'll take it up anyway. Nice. That's nice. Have acceleration shrine. The build feels like 1,000 times better already. Wow, look at that. How good the build feels with acceleration shrine. It's nice. Ooh. That's very nice, man. So, the fun part of the build is that you get the sound effects are nice. get the shotgun kind of sound effect. It comes from freezing enemies, which comes from the gain is extra on your wand. I remember the build now. Usually elemental damage doesn't give you poison damage, but Plague Finger will change that. Yeah. Like for the boss, right? If I can drag in one mob into the boss room, usually, it's a one-shot kill. Like you can also do this. You can have fun with just dragging them all together. Like, do they follow you ever? Forever, never, never, ever, never, 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 ever, 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 and then there you go, right? All at once. Lovely, huh?
Spread the infection.
Okay, into the boss room. No, what? Oh. Where's the boss room? Exactly? I have forgotten. Oh well. Je ne peux pas trouver la room of le boss. It is somehow hidden from view. Maybe let's have unlimited shield charges, eh? What do you think, huh? Or sprinting too. Sprinting would be nice. So, it's just, is it able to sustain the good damage without the deepest tower? This problem, yes. Big problem, yes. Look, I'm not even using Infernal Cry. If you had to, you just use Infernal Cry, but that's pain in the ass. You have to collect the mobs together and everything, but you could do it as an option. Trample Toe and Plague Bear are untouched, so once you get the ball rolling, you can do this, of course, right? Get your damage up. Okay, there it is. Just have to drag him in the room with you, like this. And again, said on the side, this will be a one-shot, no matter what. Come in with you? Yep. The boss is invisible, so I hate this part, though. I'm gonna die, probably. I can't see the boss. There it is. Where's the side? Okay, life bar, please. Life bar. Die. There it is, baby. Isn't that nice? You can kill the boss before the model's loaded in on an old PC. But surely Fubgun's not impressed because Fubgun's too good for everything. What is this again? Anyways. Yes. So, running the build again like this, I feel like you just can't go wrong with Pathfinder. 5 passive points, by the way, is a lot. When you do POB at the end game, you'll notice that some nodes are like basically like 12% more damage, okay? And even at worst, it is 3% more damage. So by getting 5 extra points, you're giving yourself somewhere between 15 to 20% more damage overall. If you had an ascendancy that just had 20% more damage for taking 2 points, you would just take all of them, right? It's just that so dumb and simple. There's nothing wrong with Pathfinder, and that no temp chains is nice, and no ignite is good too for burning ground. There comes a point in the game's progression where your damage and defense are sufficient. What is getting you now are those annoying map mods like ignite, like temp chains they do ruin your map in many ways, and Pathfinder has all the tools to deal with them. So I'm even more convinced I want to run Pathfinder, and it's not that great during campaign, that's for sure. So then you just go Deadeye because everyone's hyping it up, and I don't think Deadeye will be bad at all. But if you don't like the feeling of being one with the crowd or one with the mob, then switching to Pathfinder is not bad, right? I mean, I don't know. PF. Why not? Just nobody bring this tech to the big streamers because it ruins it, right?
Go on.
Last thing you want to see is someone like Fubgun who wants to use an item that your build requires. It's a nightmare when that happens. It drops the price like crazy. But even if it does, it's fine. Who cares? Yep. Yoga Suffering reads what? Enemies take 20% for each elemental ailment? Shit. Is that like only... huh? What? Wait a second, what? Wait, does Yoke of Suffering count all of these? Can you get Shock, Electrocute, Chill, and Ignite, and it will do 80% increased damage taken? Huh? Can you do that? I guess it does, huh? It's gigantic. What a crazy amulet. Okay. Let's go to the boss and then I'll stop. I remember this was my favorite and most powerful, certainly the most standout build I played last league, and it's been untouched aside from Deepest Tower. And shield charge changes, okay, it's, yeah, you don't get as much first hit damage, but it has no cooldown now, so like temporal change again, right? See how common that is, that temporal change map, and you just don't have to worry about it anymore. Don't need any kind of, you know, the whole mod is null and void. It's a free mod. And based on how good the Trickster was in PoE 1, and all it was is really, like I said, it was like a mod nullifier. It just ignores mods. There's no reason why it wouldn't be strong here. But it will suffer from like the one-shot potential. When you see other people one-shotting bosses and laughing their ass off, you'll have to be disciplined enough to not get caught up with the FOMO of that. It's easy to do that. To get jealous of one-shots. There's a strong pressure, I think, to do that one-shot. Shenanigans shit, because... Anyway. Yeah, without... You know, the one item that you will find that if you take it off, it makes the build miserable, is Trample Toe. Watch, I'll show you. I'll remove him, okay? Look how... Oh, I can't even... Sorry, I can't do that, because I heard the gems... Believe me when I say, if you unequip Trample Toe, and you try to play this build, it will suck, like, really bad. So, you do need Trample Toe. So you can just do this. Play Deadeye, generic damage, bow skills, whatever, generic anything. Play it until you have Trample Toe, which is bare minimum. A good wand. Hopefully some good uniques or items that would increase your just increase damage somehow, and then you can swap. But until then, definitely play Deadeye. It's just generically good. As yeah, I'm gonna put it. Generically good is a very good word for Deadeye. It's just generically good. Early game, late game, any game, after the game, before the game, Deadeye is very good. There's no doubt about that. Is this part of the core mechanic now? I thought the league was over. Yeah. What's this? And they fix the shrines too. Normally you can't walk that close to a shrine and not get killed like, right away. Oh. One of the downsides of this build is that it puts you to sleep sometimes because it's really boring. You just walk around, hit one button, and move on. It's supposedly the dream, quote unquote, but it's also really boring after a while. LOL. Yo, here we go. I'm gonna do the Infernal Cry check. What? That's like pretty good damage, huh? Oh, a tier 5 attuned wand? I just noticed that right now. What do I have here? Okay. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a nap after this. I'm so sleepy. I don't sleep well anymore. Never sleep well.
Yes.
What do I get? That's it? That's a level 5? Idang. Put it back in. Stash. The league did end, huh? Move only. How do you move it? Oh. Alright, I'm gonna sleep. I'm so sleepy. It's the problem, this build is too boring sometimes.